Oh, can you guys see that? Look at that. They're gonna need a dumpster for their dumpster. Hope everybody in Florida's doing good. Joe and Lou out there, CFL. Hope you guys are good. And hopefully this brings you guys lots of work. But welcome back to another one, everybody. We're gonna be driving some dumpsters today, and I got a special guest with me today, Wendy Cross. She actually works with Docket, and she lives right near me. And we've been kind of planning for her to come and do a ride along, and we're gonna talk dumpsters and just have a good old day.
We are.
Yeah.
Let's get at it. It's a beautiful, sunny,
chilly morning.
Wisconsin fall morning.
Yeah, for all you guys down south, it's 40 degrees here right now, and it feels cold. All of our leaves are starting to change, and it's definitely fall here. But first thing, we are going to do a drop off. We're going to Sheboygan. I'm gonna go on the Docket app here and click on my way, and we're gonna navigate our way out there. We've got about almost an hour drive, so we'll get back with you here in a minute. I guess disclaimer, but last week I duck hunted 5 days. No, I hunted 3 weekdays last week. I pretty much played hooky from work every single day to duck hunt.
That's what I like to hear about an independent worker.
Yep, it's that time of the year where I don't like to work. I like to hunt. All these other guys working sun up to sundown. God bless you, but I like to go hunting. And then my one day that I actually did work, look at that, another dumpster right in my hood. Bastards. The one day I did work, we drove to get the roll-off truck, which I'll have to show you later, but we drove out to far other side of the state with me and Chelsea all day. It's like a 4.5 hour drive each way. We left at like 6:30 in the morning, got back at like 4. We actually made pretty good time, but then duck hunting's closed this week. They split the season, so they leave it open for 10 days and then they shut it, so it actually opens again on Saturday. So I'll be back out on Saturday. That's my real passion.
Okay, life's short, man.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy.
Right. Hopefully, I got a mic today. I know last time I did kind of a ride along and had the camera set here. The audio was terrible, so hopefully this makes a big difference. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, it's hard to film in trucks.
For everyone watching, the dairy cows are smelling ripe this morning.
Yes, they are.
Nothing says Wisconsin like
that
fresh
smell.
Cow in the morning.
Yep. Why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
All right, so Wendy Cross. I work for Service Corps, who is the company that also owns Docket. And I am head of strategic partnerships, kind of a business development role. And Justin here, bump in the road. Justin here is one of our influencers that we have done a social media sponsorship with. And like he had mentioned earlier, he lives about 45 minutes north of me, so we are spending the day together. I'm going to experience the day in the life of a hauler. So actually, for myself, my history is mainly the portable sanitation industry. I used to work for a company here in Wisconsin that was portable toilets and septic. So I know that industry very well and have been learning the solid waste industry side since the acquisition of Docket by Service Corps. So I'm going to have all sorts of questions all day for Justin as to why, what, how is going on with this. Because I know how toilets work, but I don't totally know how dumpsters work yet.
So have you ever done a ride along or roll offs or anything? I know you've been around it a little bit,
Yep.
But have you ever done anything like this before?
Yeah, I did spend the day with Clayton Roll a while back in spring. So one of my colleagues and I spent time with him and recorded some footage. Carson and I had also spent some time with you previously, but I think spending a whole day like this will be interesting, just to understand the whole concept of what the pickups and drop-offs and what that looks like compared to what I'm normally used to.
So who are the influencers that Docket or Service Corps is working with this year? Just so people know.
Yep, so we have Mr. Justin Elliott, and we have Clayton Roll, Rolling Ops. We also have Joe Maxey, Max Code Dumpsters, who, side note, happy to know that Joe and his family are safe from Hurricane Milton as of this morning, so that's wonderful news. And then John Thibodeau out of Maine, so he is also one of the influencers. And how that works is we love the content that's being produced within the industry through the YouTube influencers, and it helps us educate others in the industry because of the content you and the other guys produce. And then you're a happy customer of Docket, so you can give us some shout outs, explain to your audience the benefits of using Docket and how it has enhanced your business, and then that helps us reach a greater audience as well.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the really, really good things that Docket's done since Service Corps took over, is they've really pushed to be an industry leader, and they're backing us creators and like-minded and people that are obviously in the business, which is really important because when you're trying to promote a brand or a product, like people like myself and the other creators, we are talking to the people that are using their product or their direct market that they're looking to advertise to. But since the Service Corps took over, they've really pushed to I guess kind of keep yourselves on the top as far as Docket goes and not get lost, because there's a lot of apps out there nowadays. There's a lot of choices and a lot of people that are trying to get a little bit of a piece.
Turn left onto West Scott Street.
I think it's really important for Docket to maintain that superiority and just, I guess, stay on the top. And in my opinion, Docket is the best, and there's no need to look anywhere else.
Amen. Yes, Docket has Service Corps. Docket have been so intentional about making sure that the product continues to be developed, listen to our end user to find out what advancements still need to keep occurring. But yeah, it's been great to see the evolution of the product for the industry that we serve over the past 2 years now, almost, since we've acquired Docket.
In half a mile, turn right onto North Main Street.
And then just making sure that we are using brand ambassadors to help advance things, that we are making sure that those out in the field, like yourself, are, using it to its best ability. So internally, how can we continue to do a better job of educating our end user on making the most of the product so that you see the benefits and you realize that it is better than the rest of them out there.
Well, and one thing that I've thought was really cool is in the last 2 years, just the advancements and
at the light,
the new
turn right onto North Main Street
that have been added to Docket. I mean, obviously that's going to continue, but all the cool new stuff and just new options that there are.
What are your top 2 favorite new options?
Definitely the
Continue
online booking.
on North Main Street for half a mile.
That's a game changer for sure. And I think had that not been added, I think Docket really falls behind without that.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my favorite.
So tell me how that works a little bit more in detail. So you've heard from your particular customers how much they appreciate it, or just on your end you've seen?
Not really, but we've had a lot of customers that we've done work for before that we didn't tell them, or
in a
they've
quarter mile,
ordered dumpsters
turn left
from
onto
us before,
Wisconsin
but
23
they
East,
just
Wisconsin
online
23
booked,
Trunk
so
East.
they went to get a dumpster from us and online book. So I know they appreciate it because they're not new customers, so they're fine with calling as well, but they chose to online book. Other than that, I haven't necessarily really heard from them, and that's one of the things about online
At the light,
booking.
turn left onto Wisconsin 23 East, Wisconsin 23 trunk east.
Like in a verbal sense. But I know that the online booking thing's really working because almost every day we're getting online bookings, and now we've opened up our online booking to our entire service area. We kind of did like a soft launch or whatever you want to call it, just to kind of figure out the bugs and kinks, and there really isn't any. And any little issues that we have had, we've contacted Docket.
Continue on Wisconsin 23 East for 3 miles.
And they've helped us immediately. But it's hard to say, with a customer like that, they would have probably ordered a dumpster if we didn't have online booking, but we do have online booking, and that's the route that they chose. So, giving your customer that option obviously just proves right there that, not only that customer, but probably many other customers would rather that option. And some of those online bookings are coming while we're open as well.
Nice.
The one thing that I really like about it is it decreases call volume, so it makes it a little bit easier during those busier times for my wife Chelsea to handle the phone, because the phone is technically ringing less. And when the online booking comes in, it's basically completely automated, where Chelsea has to click a couple of buttons to finalize it, and it's done. You don't have to type in address, phone number, name, time of day that you're delivering or picking up or anything like that. It's already done for us. So it really simplifies the whole ordering process.
What kind of increase in business do you think you've seen with that feature?
That's hard to say. I honestly, I couldn't say. But I know that from no online booking to online booking, it's a big portion of our total sales. So I would say the online booking is probably 15 to 20% of the dumpsters that we are renting right now.
That's good.
As far as an increase in sales, it's really going to be hard to tell, because I'm going to have to look at year over year, because from one month to the next, you might do 100 dumpsters one month and 80 the next, and then 120 the next. So there's really no flow where there's no consistent number to really go back and look at. But once I have probably a year of data, and numbers with the online booking, I'll be able to tell, a little bit better. But it is really nice. Most of our online bookings, a lot of them come on the weekends when we're closed. And so every Monday we have 2 or 3, 4 online bookings, which we might not have gotten.
Right.
If people had to wait to call on Monday.
Well, right, and it alleviates that Monday morning
that rush
slam
right.
of phone calls, so you can be ready to rock and roll Monday morning because you've already seen everything come in over the weekend.
Right. Here's a question.
Yes.
And maybe you guys out there know. So who is the life's apprentice of the porta potty business?
So that's an interesting question, and I wish there was more of folks like you on the portable sanitation side making content and creating videos of what they're doing and how they're using software, how they're using other tools
in 1,000 feet
of the trade.
At the traffic circle, take the second exit onto Wisconsin 23
and helping others. That isn't a thing. So when I started kind of uncovering the YouTube influencers on the solid waste industry side, I was surprised, and it's definitely interesting.
Wisconsin 23.
But wish I could see that on the toilet side, because I think it would be beneficial.
23 for 1.5 miles.
Because what we always say in the industry, and especially at Service Corps, is that operators trust other operators. So hearing someone else out in the field doing the same job that they're doing, people want to. There's a deer. Deer. Such a Wisconsin thing. Deer. That's just what we do here.
Watch out for those deer.
But anyway, yeah, I would like to see that. Sometimes I hassle Aaron Monson from Monson Portable Toilets and Septic out over on the west side of the state that he should start his own YouTube channel. So, Aaron, we might actually tag you in this video.
I don't know who that is. Does he do like Instagram or something? Does he do like social media?
Yeah,
but not YouTube?
No, I just get a lot of Snapchats from him of just stuff that he's doing out on the day, out on his day. He's one of our ambassadors for Service Corps. He's just a great guy, and him and his family run a phenomenal business over on the far west side of the state. And
interesting. I feel like there's a lot of guys that do that too.
Yeah.
Like, they don't, maybe, I see a lot of the porta potty guys, and I don't know if they all do septic and porta potties, but there's a lot of septic guys, there's a lot of porta potty guys.
Yeah, some do both. Some just do one or the other.
In a quarter mile, keep left to continue on Wisconsin 23 East, Wisconsin 23 Trunk
Good
East.
thing, there's always going to be garbage and there's always going to be poop. Like, it's a good business to be in.
Right.
People aren't going to stop pooping.
Nope. The human bladder is always going to be around.
Yep.
Keep left to continue on Wisconsin
Disposal
23
of
East.
such is always going to be around.
Yep. I don't really know anybody, or I've never seen anybody, at least on YouTube.
Continue on Wisconsin 23 East for 33 miles.
In that side of the business. There used to be a guy that I watched, I don't remember his name. I don't think he really does YouTube anymore, but he's like, he does, I forget his name. I think he was from the East Coast, somewhere like Jersey or something like that. But his dumpster, so he did like scrap metal, dumpsters, and porta potties. And I just remember his dumpster business name was like Dirty Diva or Diva Dumpsters or something like that. But that wasn't the name of his channel, but he was kind of a funny guy. And I know he did some porta potties too.
Well, someday you might have to diversify and add portable toilets to your growing empire here.
Here is the problem. See, and this is more Wisconsin right here. That's a milk truck.
Right.
He's out picking up that raw milk. Gonna take it to the cheese factory or wherever he's
taking
going.
over to Grande Cheese.
Yeah, Saputo. But here's the problem with that. I have a really weak stomach. So yeah, I don't think there's gonna be. I'm not gonna be hauling used food. I don't think anytime soon. I don't know if I can do it. I know they say you get used to it, but I can barely gut a deer without puking. And I've done it hundreds of times.
Right.
And I can't do it. And then once I start the gagging going, it's no good. My buddies, when we be gutting a deer, that's pretty.
That is pretty.
Low fog. See all the frost on the grass too.
Yep.
We didn't have frost at my house. Interesting. So my buddies, when we shoot a deer and we're gutting a deer, they'll just stand behind me and just make like noises, and they'll just get me just like that, just the noise. I can't do it. I don't think I could do porta potties and whatnot.
Well, then I guess you'll stick with trash.
Yeah, I commend you guys out there that do it though. Somebody's got to do it.
It's a good industry. All right, so where are we headed? We're heading to Sheboygan.
We're going to Sheboygan, the Malibu of the Midwest, they call it. Yep.
It's not.
It's not. Hey, I think it is. I'm going on vacation for this dumpster.
Right. We're doing a pickup.
We're going to drop, we got a 20 yard on the truck right now. We're going to drop that off. And then we got a pickup there. And then we have a dump out this way. So, and we will drop this one, and then we'll go pick up, I think, a 15 yard. We'll dump that out here, and then we're going to drop that basically right back where we came from. And pretty much every day somebody's doing a run out here with a drop and a pickup, or both, one way or another. We keep 6 to 10 dumpsters pretty much out here at all times, I would say.
Okay.
It is a little bit far, but they just redid 23 here, and it's a nice smooth ride straight through. So, And obviously we charge more, and like with online booking, and you know, whether it's on the phone or online booking, we're charging a substantial amount more. So this was when I clicked the GPS, was 57 minutes from my house. From our yard, it's about 45 minutes or so, but this is basically the end of our range where we're going here.
Got it. So how do you determine charging extra?
Well, I'm figuring like worst case scenario, 4 trips to do a dumpster. So like a dumpster out here in general is going to cost about $150 more than it would in our main service area.
Got it. And do you base that on mileage? Is that, you know, like, do you have fixed costs for that?
Yeah, we don't really do it, like, if we're doing it over the phone, we don't really do it by the mile like that. It's just $150.
Got it.
Straight up. And so that's going to cover our, you know, a little bit extra time and fuel, like, you know, on a day like today where we can double up and drop one, pick one up, and dump it, and then drop it back off. We're being a lot more efficient. So between the dumpster I'm dropping and the one I'm picking up, that's an extra $300 that we would have gotten towards this extra time. Now, granted, that's not all just in today's trip, because somebody would have had to drive out here to drop off the one that we're going to pick up, obviously. But when we're able to, you know, kind of double dip, we're not just driving out here to drop one off and drive straight back. It makes it more efficient,
right,
and more profitable that way. The only thing that sucks about going to Sheboygan is it's 7 in the morning and we're driving just dead east, and that sun is about right there.
Right
you can
there.
probably see it, yeah, because we're glowing. It sucks. There is not a cloud in 1,000 miles from us.
Right.
The hurricane must have taken all the clouds south.
It is a beautiful fall morning.
Yes, it is.
In Wisconsin.
When they redid 23 here, we really opened up this way, because we always came this way, just not all the way to Sheboygan.
Right.
And when they opened up 23, I was like, why not? Because Sheboygan's a pretty decent sized town, like
right.
Sheboygan, Plymouth, Kohler, you know, all those
right.
those areas. And definitely, I mean, there's other companies, but we were able to get market share pretty easily.
Yeah, when 23 was just a 2-lane country road, it was.
Oh yeah, you always got stuck behind somebody going 52 miles an hour.
And I hate that.
And now, like, I'm not even going fast, but I mean, you could cruise 72 miles an hour just
right
straight through.
I mean, we did just get passed by a semi, so
we did.
He's not going all that fast.
I told you I drive like a grandpa. I do. I'm not a speed demon. I promise you. The one thing about 23 is there's always DOT sitting on this highway, and we've been pulled over like 4 times by state troopers just for DOT checks. Now they know us. Now they just wave, say you're good. But I guarantee you, when I drive the roll-off truck out here the first time, they're gonna pull me over and be like, "You just gotta check it out, guy.
Right?
Gotta check it out."
Yeah, that state patrol does like to make new friends when they can.
Yeah, they've always been cool with us, but every time I see them out here, they have somebody pulled over. It's a semi or a truck and a trailer. Some guy with a Kia Sorento and a 50,000-pound skid steer on the back. You know, something funny like that.
Another true Wisconsin thing is when you're driving along like this in the early morning, you are checking the fields to see what deer are grazing and eating for morning breakfast.
Yes.
It's just a thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Getting late for them now, though, but...
I go out on purpose and sit in trees and look for deer with a sharp stick, and I try to stab them with it.
How's that working out for you?
Yeah. Well, I'm real picky, so I don't stab every deer.
Now, right over there, look at them. More deers.
More of them. See, I'm picky. I don't just stab any deer unless I'm really hungry.
Uh-huh. So you have a tag then for that stick, like when you turn it in?
So, Yep. Yes, I'm fully legal. I'm not a poacher.
Here's my deer stick tag.
Yep. And I got tags for everything. Legal to kill just about everything that walks. But I enjoy it. That's my hobby. I go sit out there, and whether I see something or not, I don't care. And for me now, it's more about my wife and kids getting into it, get them hunting.
Exactly. Understanding nature, understanding the food chain,
Yep.
understanding the peacefulness that comes from
Just being outdoors.
being outdoors.
Yep. That fucking sucky. Sunglasses are not enough. I need like a welding helmet. Fun fact too, she's from West Bend, and I lived in West Bend from, how old was I? Probably like 6 to 10 or 12, something like that.
So see, there's always 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a small world.
it is a small world. Need a tractor? They're a little old.
They got a bunch there. I don't know what they do.
Apparently what they do is they let
They
them sit
just-
and rust.
Yeah, they just collect broke down tractors. Wish you guys could see some of the fog in the sun. It's really pretty.
Yep.
It's what do they call that? Picturesque. It's a big word for me.
Do you know how to spell it?
God, no.
I'll tell you right now, there's a Q in it. That's a hint.
Picturesque? Yeah, but the Q's at the end, so it's
Right,
picture.
Esque.
E-S-Q-U-E.
Good job!
Yeah, all right, I did know.
Must be that West Bend early education.
Yeah. I was never bad at spelling, but I'm never great at it either. I never won any spelling bees, I know that.
Of course. Oh, that's a skunk. Dang. And the thing was probably hit like
Like 10 minutes ago.
a mile from here, but
Oh,
wow.
yeah, that's a powerful one.
I was angry.
Yikes. That was the worst one I've smelled in a while. I didn't even see one, so I don't know where it was. It had to have been pretty close, because I could taste it. We made it to the Malibu of the Midwest.
Sheboygan.
We're gonna go surfing. Rush hour traffic up here, look at this. Oh boy.
Oh, geez.
Oh God.
Look out. Look out, everyone getting off 43. I think there's 15 cars.
Yeah.
Maybe 20.
I saw some brake lights, so I got scared.
In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the left.
I talked to John, and I said, we were talking, and somehow it came up. I said, yeah, Wendy's gonna come do a ride along. He said, oh yeah, Wendy will like that. I told him you were gonna be in Utah. And he said, she better say hi.
I know, he saw my post on Instagram or something, and he's like, you're in my town. I said, I know, I've been looking for those bright orange dumpsters.
Yeah.
I was hoping to actually, you know, if I would have had time, like before or after,
Sure.
to maybe try and find him, but I didn't, and I was kind of chauffeuring some folks around.
It smells like bacon or something.
It smells like something's burning.
Uh-oh.
It does smell like bacon, though.
Does it? Okay. You say something burning?
like-
Is it the truck? Nah, now it doesn't smell like bacon.
I mean, you can see all the smoky haze.
2403. They got driveways.
2378.
Your destination is on the left.
2403. They got weird. See, they go like 2 blocks too. Oh no.
Here, 2403.
Yeah, and they don't have a driveway. 2403. So that's like the Cape Cod brown one. Well, there's an alley somewhere back there. I gotta look at my docket notes, folks.
Docket.
Because everyone's got a driveway but that one, of course. So it might be going on the road. Sheboygan does that. We do that a lot here. Placing in back alley, you could set at angle in front of garage, however it fits. Okay, we're going in an alley. I was just talking about it.
Thank goodness for those docket notes.
Thank goodness. Saved my life. But now I gotta find the alley, and there's no directions on how to get there. And the alley's probably a one-way, and it's not the way that I'm going. That's usually how it works.
Here's your alley.
there's definitely an alley. What are the odds we're going the right way and we don't have to go all the way through and turn back around? It's about 0% in my experience. It's actually a pretty wide alley though. I like this. This is looking nice right off the bat. This is what you got to deal with.
Hey, this is a nice wide alley though.
This is a nice one. I've seen a lot worse in this town. Yep, there they are. We got customers, we got friends. Howdy. Yep, no problem. Can I go in the grass a little bit? Yeah? Okay, sounds good. And you want the back of it like right here? Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Just setting this dumpster here in this alley, and you can see it's kind of a tight space, but this is kind of the stuff you got to deal with. You got a trailer, you got a truck, whatever. It's gonna be tight either way. And you can see like this driveway, you can't even fit a car in it really. So, what's that? Yeah, it'll fit. Yep, and it'll come back to like right here. But every town's different, every driveway is different, but you always find a way to get a dumpster where the customer needs it to the best of our ability. Is that good? Yeah, do you have any questions? No? All right, thank you very much.
On Monday, right?
You would have set that up. I don't know exactly.
It's on Monday.
On Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. How do you open it? Here. So you got the chain, and you just pull the chain out like this, and then this just opens like this, and you can just pull it open.
I'm gonna open.
Yep. That'd be okay? All right, sounds good. Thank you. So that's one big thing that the customers have a hard time with, is opening and closing the door. A lot of people haven't seen a roll-off dumpster or opened, you know, a roll-off dumpster door before. And if you've never done it, it's actually kind of surprisingly can be a little bit difficult. So that's one thing we try to educate the customer is how to open and close the door properly. It's one thing I still struggle with, is like filming in front of people. I don't think you ever really get used to it, but it's always awkward. You know, you can tell he's looking at us like, what in the world are they doing, you know?
Just making some videos of dumpsters.
Yeah. He's in his pajamas, come out here and gets a camera in his face, you know? So we're going to drop off number 2013. Drop off. Done. So that's going to notify the customer. If the customer wasn't here, it notifies them that we dropped it off. It also notifies them when we're on our way and all that kind of stuff, when we're going to pick up. Is that, I was going to say, is the garbage guy coming? So now we're in Sheboygan. We are doing a pickup in Sheboygan. We're going to click on our way. And this is like one of the my favorite things is I don't have to type in the address or anything, but here it's going to give me, see the picture of the house. Google wants to take you to the wrong address, not near Goat Farm. Goat Farm? I don't know what that means. This house is 1 street south of there. House is on a cul-de-sac. Can pick up any day of this week. All right, so we're going to go to the Goat Farm, I guess. But this is one of my favorite things right here. all of these, I can click text, I can click call. So if I need to contact the customer or anything like that, it's automatically built right in. I don't have to type in a number or anything. It's also super cool for navigate. Not that this is like that big of a deal, but throughout the course of the day, when you do this like 5, 6, 7, 8 times, it saves so much time. Now, granted, this time Google is going to take us to the wrong address, but this is all built into the Docket software, and this is a huge time saver and just, you know, pain in the butt if you had to type it all in every single time. So 13 minutes to our destination. We got a alley to an alley. What do we got going on here? Am I gonna be able to make the turn? Guess we'll find out, huh? Sure. An alley that leads to an alley.
Huh.
Even this is a new one for me.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen that before.
These poor people too, they all have like nice 2-car garages, but you couldn't get anything in there but a car. Yeah, I don't know the design with all of that, but I know probably when they designed it, they probably literally were feeding horses in their backyards with horse and buggies, I would bet.
Right.
Ooh, $10 tarot readings right there.
Oh, heck yeah.
We could get our cards read or whatever. That I could just think of that lady from the TV commercials. Call me now for your free reading. Remember her? I forget her name.
I
think she went to jail for scamming people because she wasn't a real psychic.
Okay.
So that's very interesting. I don't know. I don't understand those notes because I didn't drop this one off, but we're going to the wrong street and it's not the goat farm. What does that mean? I'm just trying to use my imagination and think of something fun here.
Do you think it's like the cute little,
like the fainting goats?
Fainting goats? Like that we could get some footage of the fainting goats?
Yeah, that'd be funny. I have no idea what the goat farm means. I guess we'll find out. We're just on an adventure. Every day is an adventure here.
Do you have a lot of instances where you kind of get yourself into a pickle trying to pick up or drop off? Or for the most part, is it okay? Because it's not like, you know, a dumpster, you can't drag it into, you know, like a portable toilet, you can, if it's not too full, you can kind of maneuver it if you need to.
Yeah.
But a dumpster, you're not really moving a couple 1,000 pounds.
No, I would say, I mean, yes and no. You try to avoid it, obviously, but once you learn the equipment and you've done it thousands of times, like, you know what you can and can't do. Sometimes you got to get creative. But no, I wouldn't say so. Not really.
I would assume that when orders are placed and, you know, delivery drop-off instructions are given, is the customer pretty good usually about trying to make it easy enough for you?
Yeah, some customers are difficult because they want it here and not there, and some people are really picky. Like, you'll set the dumpster down and they want it a foot further this way or that way, and sometimes it's just absurd because it's a foot right or left or whatever.
Right.
But you know, we always try to accommodate them. When it comes to like the online orders, nobody's asking them questions, right? So the customer is putting in their own description of where they want the driveway, and it's actually, I think, easier with the online orders because they're a lot more vague, where when Chelsea talks to them, Chelsea gets really into depth, like, you want it the right side, left side, all the way back in the driveway, towards the front, by the side door, you know, all that kind of stuff, where when people do the online orders, it's like driveway, right side.
Yeah.
But it also means that it allows me to use a lot more discretion as the drop-off, or, you know,
1,000 feet,
because driveway right side,
stay on Calumet Drive.
that's all I know, right? It doesn't say all the way back or all the way forward, and, you know, obviously every driveway is different, but it gives me a little bit more discretion of where I put it. And then the customer can't be mad, like if I didn't put it exactly where they wanted. Well, it is in the driveway and it's on the right side.
Right.
Like, sorry. And Docket allows you to,
At the light,
Chelsea
turn right onto North Avenue,
Chelsea will
then turn
sometimes
left onto
upload
North 21st
pictures
Street.
from the customer. So like, for example, you're doing like a construction job or something like that. A lot of the construction guys will upload a picture because we're putting it in a parking lot, basically, right?
Take the next
So
left
where do you
onto
put it
North
in the
21st
parking lot?
Street.
Well, then he can kind of show you which parking spot, you know, and what area. Because like if you're in a parking lot or a wide open
Continue on
area,
North
it's hard to
21st
say.
Street for
Like I
half
want
a
the
mile.
dumpster, the third spot from the east, you know,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. But yeah, a lot of times we do upload pictures. Getting into cornfields, so goat farm makes a little more sense.
That does.
We went from like downtown Sheboygan to cornfields and goat farm. Isn't that crazy?
I asked. Kelsey doesn't think we allow for that in the cart right now to upload a picture.
Well,
when-
maybe that's something that should be done.
I think so. I think we've
How
just.
hard would it be? I don't know. I'm not a developer, but
Yeah, me neither. But I think it's a good idea, and we.
yeah, I don't think it would be that difficult to do because it's already in part of the other system. So you would just have to kind of figure that out. But that would be a cool thing for the customer. Okay.
Turn left, then turn left.
I don't see a dumpster, but I know this thing's taking me to the wrong place. So where am I going?
I don't see any goats either.
No. I don't see any bright orange dumpsters either.
I don't know, but these people got TP'd.
Oh yeah, they did. Okay, let's see. So I wonder if this is my place. Maybe. Oh, the joys. Well, this is not a Docket problem for the record. This is a Google Maps problem. Google's got to get their shit together. I see goats! Ah, I see goats! They're up there on the right. There is a goat farm. So
That's
Northfield,
Rolling Meadows. Oh, there's the goats.
not the goat farm. Well, where the heck is Northfield Drive?
Keep going. I think it's further up. Did it say go past the goat farm?
Oh, no. Northfield Drive. So it is back here.
They're Whittle goats.
They are goats. We'll show you the goats here in a little bit. We got to get this dumpster though. Chelsea's gonna yell at me. I'm falling behind already.
Oh, brother.
She
It's
said,
my fault.
She said, "Don't let Wendy slow you down. We got stuff to do." I said, "Well,
We haven't even stopped for like coffee or snacks yet.
no, I know. We haven't even petted any goats.
Right. Or looked for salmon.
Yeah, or look for salmon." So it's showing me Northfield Drive. Where am I? Okay, Northfield Drive should be left right up here, I guess. There's definitely a Northfield Drive.
All right, I see a sign.
We're just gonna drive all around with our hazards on.
Hey, Northfield Drive.
We got it.
There's also like little Shetland ponies or something over there.
Something just crawled right through there. Cat.
Hey, I see a greenhead dumpster.
I do too. Look at that. That's why we paint them orange so we can find them easier.
That works. I mean, it's not like they hide too well, though.
Oh, look at that. They got stuff sticking up. We're gonna have to charge them. We're gonna have to charge them for an overloaded dumpster.
You could probably just lay that down.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're backing in here to this here dumpster. Let me know what you guys think of the mic setup here. I don't use it very much, but it is nice to have. Here I am backing in all crooked. Car waiting on me. Lady walking her dog. The heat of the camera, I could feel it. Nailed it. That's how you do it. Look at how orange this one is. This is one of the ones I painted. You always check your door because it's not latched or chained. All right. I don't see, I'm looking for any unwanted items, stuff like that. I don't see anything. The printer, the dump out here isn't as strict as Oshkosh, so pick her up. Tarping, making sure it doesn't get caught on anything. Testing one, two. My dump location, which is also, honestly, this is part of my favorite thing. So we have all of our dumps set in here, and Docket, I don't know if you call it AI or whatever, they automatically figure the closest dump to my location. And it's gonna give me directions right to the dump, because I don't know how to get to the dump from here or the fastest way. I can figure it out without GPS, but this is gonna give me the most efficient route and take me right to the dump.
Boy, that's handy.
It sure is.
Head south on Northfield
great
Drive
thing to
toward Fawn
have.
Court.
What a tool to use.
What a tool to use. My, how that could save so much time and energy and frustration throughout the course of a dumpster driver's day.
Correct. You should tell all your friends about it.
So easy, a caveman could do it. All right, well, now I don't know if we're gonna be able to see the goat farm because it's probably not gonna take me that way. Oh, I wasn't even supposed to go this way. Where I go?
In 300 feet, turn left onto Rolling Meadows Drive. Take the next left onto Rolling Meadows Drive.
Goats and salmon, but I don't think the GPS is gonna allow us. And I guarantee you, so there's a GPS in this truck too, and Chelsea is watching me right now. Because she's controlling and she wants to know.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto North 30th Street.
But she doesn't know there was goats down the road and they were short and cute and we could have seen them.
She knew there was goats because she put it in the notes. She must have scouted this place out. I have a feeling she probably petted them.
Probably. We just wanted some goats.
That's just the notes on some of this stuff are so funny. Not the goat farm.
Not the goat
farm.
Turn
left onto North 30th Street.
Not the goat farm.
What is this guy going? What is happening here?
He's in a hurry.
I don't know if his dog was pulling him over or if he was trying to start jogging. But
in
he
a quarter
like
mile, turn
himself.
right onto Mill Road.
He was running in slow motion. Oh man, no goats or salmon. Chelsea got this set up. Chelsea knew.
Don't ask me anything hard.
No, well, there's no right or wrong answer. They're not.
Okay.
All right, so Wendy.
Yes.
This is one of the things that I wrote down to ask you, and you give your honest answer of what you think, or don't answer at all. What do you think most dumpster businesses are doing wrong, in your opinion?
Oh. Well, gosh. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is maybe they're not
Take the next right onto Mill
being
Road.
as efficient as they could be by using a tool such as Docket.
Correct.
To maximize their efficiencies.
Which is important.
Which is important. But I mean, I understand that, and maybe you can shed some light on this too. You know, maybe if you're first starting out, sometimes people are hesitant to add too much technology to the work they're trying to do.
Well, I think some of it's cost too, because let's be honest, Docket has different plans.
In a quarter mile, turn
Some
left
more
onto
affordable than
Wisconsin
others.
42 South,
And
Wisconsin 42
so, for example, I did a consultation with a guy in Baton Rouge, Louisiana last night, and he's just starting out and he has 3 dumpsters. He actually has Docket, and when I do consultations like that, I'll always recommend that people start with it. But when you start with 3 dumpsters, I don't really think you need a software.
Right.
But at some point, assuming you're planning on scaling your business from 3 to, you know, whatever, 30 dumpsters, at some point you're going to have to get a software and get used to it and learn it. And I think the best time to do that, like I told him in the consultation, the best time to do that is before you need it.
Correct.
Don't wait to get Docket or something along those lines until you need it, because there is a learning curve to it. 100%. There's definitely a learning curve. And I know when we first got Docket, Docket was frustrating for me at first because it was something I'm not used to. It was another step to the process, and at first it was frustrating and kind of hard to deal with. But one thing I know about human nature is humans don't like change, and switching from one method to the next there's always going to be hiccups, you know, along the way. Now, after having Docket for about a week, I realized all of the benefits, and once I got used to it and understood how it worked, then it was a godsend, you know, and it saved me time and made my life easier.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, if you're starting with 3 dumpsters, I don't necessarily think you need Docket, but, you know, Docket does offer, like, you know, cheaper packages if you're just looking to, you know, track your dumpsters.
Correct.
And stuff like that, where it's a lot more affordable than, you know, like the platinum tier package like we have.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree that it's usually in your best interest to, even if you're starting, you know, real small, to be able to have all the tools in place so that as you grow, you can grow with the products you're using and then expand that, because something like software is always growing and changing and evolving. So, you know, getting in before you really, really need it so that it can just become kind of a partner in your business with you, you'll probably be a lot better off, and it'll be a lot less painful because you won't be experiencing all of these pain points that come up that then have you thinking, boy, I need to change how I'm doing things. I need to route this better. I need to keep track of this better. You know, I would like online booking, all of that stuff. So I think it is very beneficial to try and make it work from the start so that you're growing.
Well, and another thing, it can really help you understand your business a lot better too.
Right.
And that's one of the things that's important, especially when you're starting, is understanding some more of your numbers.
And then you can actually grow quicker.
Right.
If you know what's going on from the get-go. Which
is important, you know. And, you know, some people, maybe you got to buy QuickBooks or, you know, whatever to manage all that kind of stuff.
Take the next left.
Docket's kind of got all that in one. But like I said, there is a learning curve to it. So you want to learn to use it before you absolutely need it. That way, when you do need it, it's already part of your routine.
Correct.
So, other than that, what are other, like, you've been around it enough a little bit here and there, and you're more familiar with the dumpster business than
Continue on County Road
you
Y
used
for
to be,
1.5
right?
miles.
Like, what other things are you seeing that maybe people aren't doing, even myself included, like, that companies could improve on or do better?
So I was going to ask you, we just picked up this dumpster from that person's driveway. Do you put something down? Do you use like Rolly Skate ever, or do you put something down to help protect a customer's driveway or to aid with picking up the dumpster?
But free of charge, so we don't charge the customer to do that. There's other guys that charge for it. I'm not necessarily against that. I didn't want to do that for my business. Turkeys.
Look at all the turkeys. Do you think in the future that might be something that can be an add-on charge?
I think if everybody does it, then then it's a benefit to hire me. So I hope everybody charges for it, because then I'll just advertise free driveway protection. I think it's part of our job. Now, I'm not against charging for it, but I think that it's part of our job. So, like, for example, if I'm roofing somebody's house, I wouldn't charge them extra to put tarps down when I'm tearing off the roof, right?
That's a valid point.
So why would I do that with the dumpster? I feel like it's kind of the same thing.
Gotcha.
I feel like it's just kind of part of it. If they ask for it, that's part of our job to basically just keep the customer happy. And that's my opinion on it.
Okay.
But to each their own. The other thing other people charge for is like preferred times and stuff like that. I feel like that's our job, especially for construction guys and stuff like that.
Continue on
I feel like that's our job. Yes, there's ways you can be more profitable and make more money, but at the end of the day, I think that's just our job, is to do our best to do what the customer wants when they want it. And I don't think my opinion on that will ever change.
Got it.
But nothing against the guys that are charging for it.
Right.
I think that's just the benefit of going with my business versus, potentially their business, is because I'm going to do it for no charge.
Turn left onto the Wisconsin 23 West ramp.
For everyone riding along, we just entered the village of Kohler here in Wisconsin, which, if you got a sink, a toilet, any of that, probably came from Kohler.
In a quarter mile,
probably got a
merge onto
faucet
Wisconsin
or a shower
23 West,
head
Wisconsin
or
23 Trunk West.
Now, you had mentioned the roll-off truck. Why don't you tell me a little bit more? I know you kind of had said before you and Chelsea went to the other side of the state to pick this up. So tell me all about this roll-off truck.
So we got a 2020 Kenworth, I think it's a T27, T270.
Yes, the T270.
Yes.
One of my favorite models, actually.
Actually my favorite as well. It's way better than the T30.
Yeah.
Or whatever the other model would be.
Yeah.
In 1.5 miles, take the Wisconsin.
So yeah, we bought
32
that,
exit.
and I've been running the trailers. Obviously, I love the trailers. Trailers work great. Some of our equipment needs to, kind of get phased out, and the main reason for that is depreciation schedule for taxes. I need to bring in new tax write-offs in order to avoid paying more taxes than I should.
Dang government.
Yeah, so here's the deal with it. Like, basically, if I don't buy that truck, I pay 20 grand in taxes more than I probably should. If I buy that truck, I get a $20,000 write-off, so I pay $20,000 less. But the truck also costs 20, however many thousand per year to operate. So it's almost a wash. You pay more taxes, or you buy the truck, pay less taxes, and pay the money towards the truck. But at the end of the day, I own the truck.
And you're generating new revenue.
Well, no, I don't think it's going to generate any real new revenue for us. No. So it's not really about that. I mean, I don't think so. It's going to be capable basically of doing what we already do. I don't think it's going to really speed up time or slow us down. I don't know as far as maintenance and fuel and stuff like that, if it's going to really make any big changes there as far as, revenue. So really it just boils down to taxes. That's why we got it. And it's cool and fun, and everybody else on YouTube has trucks and stuff now, so I had to join the truck club.
So it's really peer pressure and avoiding taxation.
I just gotta stay relevant.
I
gotta stay relevant. So if I don't have a truck, I'm just that trailer guy. Which is funny, because I remember when I started doing YouTube and everyone's like, you don't need a trailer, roll-off trailer. You don't need any of that. You just need a cargo trailer. You need a dump trailer. And now everyone's like, why would you ever do that with a trailer? Roll-off trailer. You need a hook truck. My, how times have changed.
Correct.
Yeah. In this 4-year history.
Well, I think you're going to have to do a video
32 south.
with your roll-off truck just for the sake of content and
definitely,
and street cred of look at my roll-off truck.
I did. You obviously didn't hit the notification bell, because you would have been notified that I did make a video.
Oh, brother, he caught me.
I caught her. I basically was like, hey, here's my roll-off truck. Help me. Tell me what all this stuff does.
Just start pushing buttons.
Yeah.
It'll explain itself.
But everyone on YouTube, I appreciate it, because you guys let me know things I didn't know. And now I know. But yeah, that'll be fun. So I went and got it registered, paid $6 grand in freaking taxes. Blech. Puke. Here we are, Sheboygan Falls Dump. We're at the big guys, the competition here.
GFL.
They're not waste management, even though all the green dumpsters in the yard. Trust me, they're not waste management. They just put new stickers on everything. You didn't see my code, did you? If you saw my code, you could just come dump here for free.
Out of my 4Runner?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right.
See, and I know we had this conversation earlier that you were like, oh, I wouldn't want to have to pump toilets or septic or haul that. Garbage is gross as well, my friend. It's dirty, and there's who knows what all in there.
See, I don't care about dirty. Dirty doesn't.
It smells a little bit too.
See, I don't know. We're not gonna film here because they're kind of.
We'll get sniped.
Yeah, they're kind of a-holes here about it. They're gonna be like, get your hard hat on. That's what they do. They're a little more strict here. But we are just blessed that they would take our money and allow us to dump here. With how much we use this, I should buy stock. Alright, I'll roll up the windows, otherwise it's gonna be full of flies. I see some garbage I gotta pick out. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Because you want to keep it for yourself?
Yes.
Oh.
And I always grab them when I can, and I'll tell you why in a second. Yeah, so I always grab those, you know those push lawn spreaders?
Yeah.
I always grab those because I use them for salting in the winter when I snowplow.
Yeah.
And I destroy them all the time, and I got sick of buying them. They're like $60. And I probably go through like 3 of them every year. So I grabbed one.
That's fair.
Scott's Turf Builder. They're the best one. Leave some comments. What do you guys grab out of dumpsters? I know you dumpster guys grab stuff out of dumpsters.
It's all about recycling.
We all grab stuff. I don't know anybody who doesn't. So the other day, I'm gonna put my pin in here. So the other day, true story, I dumped a dumpster and it had 98 metal T-posts. You know what a T-post is?
Yeah.
98 like brand new metal T-posts in it. So I dumped them at the dump, and we can't have them when we can't send that stuff through those compactors. So there was 98 of these T-posts, and the dump guy's like, yeah, you're gonna have to take them across the street. So I was like, well, by the time I do that, I'll just throw them in the back of the truck. I threw them in the back of the truck, and I had them sold within an hour for $150. A guy come and picked it up, gave me $150, and he was doing a little goat farm.
Oh, see,
and he's like, I need
more
them.
goat farmers.
Yeah, he drove.
Okay, so explain to me, we're at the transfer station. You had to put your pin in. Obviously, we get weighed when we get here and weighed again when you're leaving.
Right.
You have a little receipt. What are you going to be entering here?
So I'm going to send a picture of the receipt to Chelsea. That way she has, this one, we won't charge any tonnage for this one. This one was 1,120 pounds. So we won't be charging any extra, but we also want to know so that Chelsea will put it all in Docket. And the nice thing about that is we can average out all of our dumpsters in Docket and figure out like our average tonnage on certain size dumpsters and things like that. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. So then the pin, Jake has a card. We only have one card. Jake has a card, and it just goes up to like a RFID reader or whatever those things are called. And so Jake has a card. I have a pin, so I have to type in the pin. It's the same pin, so actually if we're here at the same time, which has happened before, I have to wait until he's completely done. So our business has one pin number.
Got it.
It's not per truck. But we're not out. I mean, it's pretty rare we're both out here. Usually one person does Sheboygan, you know, during the day, and one person's running a different route. Dump complete, yard drop done, and now we're gonna go drop this off duplex placed up tight to garage on left side for the roof. This is one of those dumps too, like if you guys don't do your research and you're wondering like there's got to be a dump around here, there is. It's hidden. These are hidden dumps. You're never going to find this dump.
Forest Avenue.
And it's private, so you gotta get an account. And they exist all over the place. A lot of times your tipping fees are going to be more expensive at these transfer stations, but it's convenient. If I was to go to the other dump, it would add an hour to my day today. So yes, I paid a little bit more. Granted, that one was really light, but I paid a little bit more. But this is going to cut an hour off my day if I didn't dump here. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, fun fact, on our way turning into GFL here, I saw a portable toilet on the side of the road for some construction that's happening, and it happened to be the portable toilet company that I used to work for prior to working for Service Corps. So when you're in the portable sanitation industry, once you start working in that, you can't go anywhere without spotting portable toilets and then also looking to be like, oh, whose is that? Whose is that? I would assume it's kind of the same for dumpsters. You're looking, definitely color, stickers, names on the side, and once you're in the industry, you can't not see them.
Well, you want to be familiar with, who's around. It's the same like with construction. When I see a roofer, I'm looking, what dumpster are they using? What's their name? Do they have a yard sign out? See, I don't look at porta potties, but
exit the traffic circle.
I've pooped and peed in them lots of times.
Yep.
In a quarter mile.
Another goat farm?
No.
I saw chickens.
Just cows and chickens. For portable restroom companies, it varies. Someone can, same with dumpsters, you can start out and just be fairly small and, just kind of run it by yourself or you and another guy. And then as you scale and get bigger, you have routes, right? So you might have anywhere from 20 to 50 toilets en route each day, that you're stopping and cleaning. And then also, delivering or picking up. Some companies will have a separate P&D, pickup and delivery. So then you have a route that's just going around cleaning, servicing, pumping out the toilets, refreshing them, wiping them down. Where I worked, it was all in one. So our route drivers also had pickup and delivery worked within their daily route.
I suppose unless you have like a really big job where you got like 20 toilets going to one place, then you just bring those all on a trailer. But like throughout it's kind of like dumpsters, like one will get picked up, you empty, clean it, and then take it to the next place. Is it kind of similar that way?
You can do that, kind of pick one up and re-deliver it later in the day, if you're, if it's in good shape. Otherwise, you always, just for providing the best customer service, you want to bring it back to the yard, make sure you really clean it out good, pressure wash it,
sure,
and deliver fresh ones. So usually you're just kind of picking it up and somebody else might be delivering a new one elsewhere.
Gotcha.
But yeah, when it comes to really large projects or events, that's kind of a whole different ballgame than...
Yeah, because you're bringing dozens or 100 maybe,
correct,
to certain places, like big concerts and stuff.
Correct.
What can dumpster people learn from the porta potty business? Like, what are the crossovers, or what are things that maybe dumpster people could learn from the porta potty business? Oh, there's that skunk again.
Yeah, they didn't pick them up. That's a good question. What could...
Like, obviously the software, because I feel like the software kind of thing has been involved in the porta potty business probably longer than the dumpster business, at least in more of a mainstream way.
Right.
So that's one thing, I think, but we kind of talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, the routing is considerably different because the number of stops that a portable toilet operator has in the day compared to it varies, quite a bit. So as far as, placement and routing of all the different stops. You know, you can kind of tuck a portable
Keep right
restroom
to
in
stay
a
on
whole lot
Wisconsin
easier than a
23 west.
dumpster in spots.
Right.
I really enjoy the bouncing of this current Highway 23 that we're on, so that it sounds like
Continue on Wisconsin 23 west.
I'm having a stroke. But I think, you know, I think a lot of times in the industry, whether it's, you know, like what other verticals can you add? You know, I'm doing toilets, I could add roll-off. I'm doing roll-off, I could add toilets. I'm doing toilets, I could add septic, you know, or I could add fencing. You know,
It's like construction fencing, you're saying, like the
Yep.
temporary stuff.
Yeah, temporary fencing.
Yep, okay.
You know, so just understanding how can you have multiple lines to your business.
Yeah, and more or less like double dip from the same customers. Like
Right.
you could just provide them more services.
Yep, absolutely.
Sure. As far as like employees and stuff like that, is there a high turnover rate in a job like the portable toilets or no? I would, from the outside in, I would think there would be, but that's just me.
And actually there isn't, because that, like any industry, goes back to what is that company culture like? What kind of,
Okay.
you know, how are they taking care of their employees? What is the whole picture that they're offering as far as competitive wages, education, advancement, benefits, all of that. Actually, within the portable sanitation industry, there is really, really high loyalty. I mean, there is companies that have had employees that have worked for them for decades.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
because they're well taken care of.
I think the dumpster business is similar too.
Correct.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think both the dumpster and, you know, toilets, there's, you know, a lot of multiple or multi-generational businesses
Sure.
happening. So let me ask you a little business development kind of stuff. What strategies have you been using to acquire new customers?
There's multiple ways. One of the big ones is Google Ads. I've really been working on Google Ads, and I'm learning. I've made some pretty big mistakes doing that lately, honestly.
Okay, tell me one of them.
Well, I've just tried some off-the-wall kind of crazy things with Google Ads, and by doing that, I spent money and didn't get any customers.
Oh.
But
That's a
I
problem.
also learned from that too, right? So I've had really good luck with Google Ads overall. So this isn't like anti-Google Ads. It was the things that I tried, and I won't get into detail about them, but the things that I tried failed miserably. And I learned that what I was doing before, you know, it's just kind of like you just do more of what you were doing rather than if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know, kind of thing. But I tried some crazy stuff, and it all kind of stems off of the online booking. I tried really hard. I guess I'll say a little bit. So I tried really hard to spend a lot of money to advertise on Google to get people to online book and not get phone calls and not get like leads to the website. So I tried really hard to just strictly get those customers when we're closed. It failed miserably. Here's why. People aren't looking for dumpsters at midnight like some people think. And I know this because my Google Analytics from running Google Ads 24/7 tells me that nobody's looking at that time of the day. So I tried really hard to force advertise to customers that really don't exist. But I was trying to find out, do they exist and I'm just missing them? Or, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, are
Well,
they there
I mean,
and
yeah.
I'm not targeting them?
You never know till you
Or
try.
are they just not there? And I realized they're just not there.
Okay.
There's very few. But your ads will get better over time, assuming that you are doing, you're feeding more or less that algorithm and teaching Google who you want to advertise to, who you don't want to advertise to, and then trying to figure out how it's really a cat and mouse game, because a lot of it has to do how your advertising works is based on how other people are advertising, right? So there's so many little nuances and things in Google Ads that you can change and play with and mess with, and it can be expensive. It can be an expensive education, but I enjoy doing that and messing with it. And so now, after making a couple of pretty epic failed ads, I'm kind of back to where I started, and it's working much better.
Well, good.
But that's how you do it. I mean, all business is like that. And that's how advertising is. You gotta advertise 3 ways and then pick the best one,
right.
and then advertise 2 more ways and then find the best one out of those. And eventually you'll have 3 or 4 different ways that work really well for you. One thing we've done is we've sponsored a lot of like local events, donated dumpsters and stuff like that.
Yep, that's always good.
That is something that just I'll always do, because our business is part of the community, and our community is our business.
Correct.
So those things are really important. I think a lot of people don't do that, and they should.
Yeah, that's a really strong point that you brought up, and it goes for this industry, toilet industry, construction, all of that, and your phrase of we're part of the community and the community's part of us. You're working in the community, but you're also working for and with the community. And when that community that you're serving sees that you're there, you're providing great needed services, but also giving back in ways, that's building your brand, building your, people trust you, respect you.
A lot of times too, like the people at these events don't know that our dumpster was donated.
Right.
So it's not even really about that.
No.
It's not that we're flashing that around.
No.
But our presence there, that's the branding side of it, where it's not really the advertising so much, even though it is, but that's where the branding side of it is, because people see your dumpster, and then when they need it, they will ideally, subconsciously, they remember that kind of stuff.
Correct.
And it's really just such a good way to advertise, I think, for the long term. It's not gonna get you sold out the week after you donate a dumpster to some food truck event or something, but over time it pays off, I think. It's just the right thing to do.
Correct. What other ways do you try and build long-term relationships with your customers?
Well, treating them, and this is where I have the problem, and we'll go back to charging for certain times a day, charging for driveway protection, things like that. I don't think that is beneficial to creating long-term business with customers of whatever kind, right? I think if you're doing a lot of homeowner clean out type stuff, somebody who isn't going to need a dumpster every year, or maybe once or twice in their whole life, I think you can get away with that. But when you start talking about construction guys and roofers, or people that might need your dumpster every week, every other week, that's a terrible way to go about maintaining those customers. You want to treat them with respect. You want to bend over backwards for them. When they say jump, you say how high, and I think that's really, really important. And just treat them fairly, because that's how they want to be treated, and we would, as a construction guy, the reason why I always went with Greenhead before I owned the business was because of that.
Right.
He was always there when he said he was going to be. He always picked up the dumpster when he said he was going to be. I had that trust, and we built that relationship, which is really important. And then when I bought the business, I'm going to do the exact same thing, whether that's the way he ran it or not. I would do it that way because that's the way that I would want it when I'm on the other side, as the contractor. Service is the name of the game. It definitely is, and I think that's really important. We got to treat every customer as if they're our one and only customer, I guess. Right. Because and sometimes I think a lot of people, if you don't treat every customer like that, you only maybe get one chance. So they call and rent from you, and if they don't get the exact service that they want, they're never calling you again.
Right.
So you might have lost out on millions of dollars worth of business over the next 10, 20 years from that one customer because you charge them for driveway protection or,
Right.
you know, whatever.
Yeah, you only get one chance to make a first impression.
Right. So I think that's important. I think a lot of people do that pretty well, especially the smaller dumpster guys. I think really have that kind of personal relationship with them too, like on the phone, you know, talking, shaking their hands, looking them in the eye, you know, calling them by their name. You know, once you have a relationship like that, you know, they're not gonna look somewhere else because they don't need to.
Right.
And a lot of times it's not about price. It's about that trust, you know. And I think that's important. But I think a lot of guys are doing that pretty well.
So you and I had talked previously about you're not a big social media guy.
No.
So is Chelsea doing stuff on social media? Or should I, before you answer that, I'm also going to add, you know, within this industry, there's definitely a strong social media presence, right? There's different Facebook groups and companies and guys have their own specific pages. How do you feel about all of that? Do you feel like you're missing out on anything?
No, I don't. Not really. I do some social media, and I'm not very good or consistent at it. But we have, you know, Instagram, Twitter. Chelsea does the Facebook for the most part,
Right.
and I just do kind of random posts on there. We have a YouTube for Greenhead. I put some videos on there. I probably still need to do more, but you know, it's good job, birdies.
Yeah.
But that's something that I think a lot of guys are doing really, really well, and I am not one of them, to be honest. I know that.
Would you like to be? No?
No, not really. I wouldn't touch social media if it wasn't for the business.
Got it.
I wouldn't. I don't find any value in it. Like, the business side of it, I see the value, but the other side of it, I don't. See, I like YouTube, and YouTube is social media, and I'm a big consumer of YouTube. That's why I started YouTube. I always wanted to do it. I should have started 5 years sooner than I did. But I think even that's gotten a little bit watered down with content creators and stuff, and nothing against it, but there's so much content out there. And when I watch YouTube, I'm not really watching dumpster guys. I'm watching other things, and I really like to learn. So when I watch YouTube, I love to learn. I watch the crazy, if you went into my history, you would be like, what on earth is wrong with this guy? You know, like, I watch farming videos and how it's made videos and like little mini documentary videos and all sorts of stuff like that. Just completely random stuff, but I just love learning about that kind of stuff. So that's the way that I use social media, I guess, in that way. And I've scrolled through Twitter, and I've never really looked at TikTok much, but like Facebook and stuff, I don't get it.
In half a mile, keep left
I don't
to
get
stay
it.
on
I
Wisconsin
don't understand how
23
people get
West,
addicted to that.
Wisconsin 23
I don't.
Trunk West.
Truly. I know that you can learn, and I know that
Right.
there are, you know, things on there, but when I scroll through it, it's just a bunch of junk, I think.
Well, consider yourself lucky and protected from
Yeah.
never falling down the rabbit holes that the rest of us stumble down.
Yeah. And I'm sure, you know, like you said, like reading the comments and stuff is entertaining. I guarantee you're right about that.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, I'm more of a long form content kind of guy. Like, I have an attention span, believe it or not.
Wow. It's a dying breed.
Yeah, I know, it really is. So I'm that guy giving those guys views. But, you know, I guess that's what I like. Another thing is, like, I can relax a little bit more, and I feel like, you know, a lot of people talk about like being anxious looking at social media.
Yeah.
Well, if you're looking at like 1 minute videos, you gotta scroll and find a new video every minute. Well, that would give me anxiety too. Like, I'm gonna find a video that's an hour long, click it, and go into La La Land and watch it for an hour, right? And I don't get anxious because I have that time to
Right.
like just relax and kind of watch it. And maybe learn some useless piece of information that I'll never use about.
You never know. It might
how
actually
a combine cuts corn or something.
It might come up in conversation at some unknown dinner party you haven't had yet.
I am full of useless knowledge. Just ask me.
Right.
So that's kind of how I feel about it. But I think like business-wise, it is very important.
Yes, I think so too. You mentioned that you just last night were kind of coaching somebody, consulting with somebody. How often do you do that?
It depends. Some weeks I'll do 2 or 3, and then I won't.
And do they reach out to you through the YouTube channel?
Yeah. Yep. People email me, and then I do $200 an hour, and I've helped a lot of people. I think. At least get started, or maybe they already are started and they want to know how they can start advertising, or getting more customers.
Yeah, what are some of the main topics? Like, is there a trend that you've been seeing when you consult with?
It's a lot of the basic type stuff, like where to dump. Like, it's a lot of people will go and buy their stuff to do a dumpster business, and they don't even know where to go and dump, or they find out like there was a dump right there, but I can't get in. I didn't know that.
Right.
A lot of it comes down to how much to charge, and I can't give people exact like perfect advice, but I can give them pretty good ideas.
Right. How
as far as like based on the dump fees and their equipment and stuff like that, kind of how to charge. Just like simple stuff like, how to set up a Google My Business, how to maybe start advertising, and just kind of how to start getting a presence for your business, things like that. A lot of that is just like kind of beginner stuff, but those are, hard things to learn if you don't know where to start.
Right.
And so I can really help people, get in the right area to start. And then once they get, all that, then we get into the advanced stuff, the paid stuff, and, things along those lines.
Yeah, that's definitely something that seems to transcend industries, because everything you listed would be the same thing, that someone who's a portable toilet operator is looking, to be mentored by someone. And it's same thing, it's dump fees. How do I understand my community and the dump fees that I'm going to be charged, which then in turn reflects back on what should I be charging to cover my expenses properly? What all factors into my expenses? So knowing how to, do the math correctly for the services I'm providing, and understanding your equipment, all of that. So it does definitely.
Well, and just how to get all your stuff set up initially. Right. A lot of people, if you've never done it before, like, there's not a whole lot of people talking about it.
Right.
Or even like, I could make a video, but it would be very difficult to film, and show, because I would have to like make some fake thing up because I've already done it. But there's so much to it, and just knowing kind of where to start is important.
What happened there?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
They need a dumpster, because that's all just laying on the side of the road.
They do.
They would fill up a 20-yard.
I didn't see any lawn spreaders, or I would have whipped a Yui.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, like the guy last night, he works in the scrap industry, and like one of his big hurdles, he has the stuff, but he's scared to do it based on repercussions from his employer.
No.
Right? But unless you quit tomorrow, you're always going to have that risk. So I think like he's more or less in his own head, like nervous about it.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, are you going to quit your job tomorrow? Well, no. Okay, well then what are you worried about? Well, I'm worried about somebody seeing me at the dump, or somebody telling my employer that I'm doing this. I said, well, until you do it, like that's always going to be a problem, right? There's no way that isn't a problem unless you literally quit tomorrow.
Right.
And you don't want to do that, so you have to do that, right? You have to stick your neck out there a little bit.
Unless your employer has an employee handbook that specifically has a clause in it about moonlighting, you know,
well,
in something.
They're not competing.
Yeah, they're not competing,
other,
but
right.
you know, unless there's some sort of verbiage, then yeah, you're good, because you need to, you know, you need to do both at the same time before you can transition away from one to the other.
Yeah, and I think he'll be able to do that. But if you're, you know, like I've told a lot of people too, like there's never a right time to start a business. It's never going to feel right, and our human nature is always going to have that little voice in the back of your head, like this isn't going to work, or that's not going to work, or maybe I should wait another couple of months, or you know, I got a baby on the way, maybe I shouldn't start it now. Well, you know, eventually your baby's going to be going to college, and you're going to be saying, oh, my kid's going to college now, you know.
So listen to the voice.
Then it never happens.
Yeah, listen to the voice on the other shoulder that's telling you, just do it.
Just do it.
Take the leap.
Yep. And, you know, if you fail, you fail, but at least you tried, you know, and you won't have that regret, like, well, maybe I should have.
Right.
But, I mean, I've had that feeling plenty of times in my life, and still do. And I think that's a normal feeling.
Yeah, that's human.
Yeah. But it doesn't go away. There's never a right time. You're never like, oh, today's the day. It's never the right time. And you'll always come up with some sort of an excuse in your own head to, you know, kind of drag you back, you know, to that side. And a lot of times, like in my career and stuff like that, I've felt that way. Like, should I do this? Is it the right time? And then I do it, and I look back a year or two later, and I was like, what on earth was I worried about?
Correct.
Like, why was I scared? I've held myself back.
Right.
And there was literally nothing to worry about the whole entire time. So what was I so scared about? But I know that feeling. I know it.
And here we are cresting the big hill of Highway 23, overlooking picturesque Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
Yes. And the leaves are not looking beautiful. They're a lot of yellow.
A lot of yellow.
Not a lot of red. Yeah, that's a mountain where we come from.
Yep. I know it's only 9:40 in the morning, but where are we going for lunch?
I don't know yet. We're gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to find out where we kind of end up. It's gonna be just a random. Who knows?
One of the finer establishments in the area, I'm sure.
Well, I think one of the big things right now is we got to get
Exit
these
the traffic
drop-offs
circle
done.
on East Johnson Street.
We gotta get drop-offs done. And
Continue on East Johnson
after
Street
that,
for 3 miles.
I have a drop-off at like 3, and I have 2 pickups kind of in between that don't really have anywhere to go. So that's gonna be our time.
Right. Well, let's get cooking on these drop-offs before Chelsea starts.
I think, what do we have? I think we gotta drop this one, and then we gotta drop another one. See, and that's interesting to me too, is just to learn kind of how Docket works, like the behind the scenes part, because I know how it works like on my end,
right?
But it's always interesting to know like how the technologies like connect together.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto North Main Street.
Like the Google Maps integration and, you know, all that kind of stuff, like how that's all integrated together. That's fascinating stuff to me.
Mm-hmm.
Turn right onto North Main Street.
Got a smell around here too. They do call Fond du Lac the armpit of Wisconsin.
It is a stinky one.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well,
iPhone's better.
I'm asking him if you'd be better off with an iPhone.
I'm just a Samsung guy. I had to get an iPhone for my daughter so she didn't get bullied at school.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto US 45 North.
For punishment with my Samsung over here. Really, I just don't want to spend $800 on the damn phone. Because I won't. If I bought an $800 phone, I would drop it in the toilet within a week.
At the light, turn right onto US 45
so that's why I buy
North.
$200 phones. That way, I'll never have to fish them out of a toilet.
Holy Moses.
What's the saying in Wisconsin? There's 2 seasons, winter and road construction?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why they wait till frickin' October to start these road construction things. You had all frickin' summer.
Self-service.
I go through Boost, which is Sprint.
Oh, might be that.
Yeah.
Might be better if you had like Verizon.
Maybe. Well, mine's $50 for unlimited everything. I'm kind of a cheapskate.
I pay so much for all of our phones and everything.
What is yours a month?
I pay like $500 and some a month, and
Yeah.
between
I've had
between
this
the
for a long
phones,
time.
between the data plans, the iPads,
Yeah.
the watches, the
Sure. Mine's $50 a month. It's kind of like the social media thing. I don't quite get the Apple thing either. The whole iPhone thing does the same shit. I know you guys. Well, you got like you can link it with all your Apple stuff, which is nice.
Right.
And you also have like where you can take a video on it and upload it to the cloud, which is nice.
Yeah.
My buddies, they always try to get me to get iPhones. I'm like, what? I don't get it. What's the difference?
It's calling
Existing customers.
existing customers to kind of do this upgrade to this Pro plan. Are we dropping this off like at your house?
Pretty much, yeah.
Your destination is on the left.
All right, buddy. Alrighty.
Oh,
Place
Brian.
tight to garage on left. Somebody's doing a roof in my hood too. Stealing my cream.
Brian,
Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm not the least of your worries right now. You're gonna be stopped down there in a little while anyway. Yep, it's like we've come full circle from my house to Sheboygan, right back to pretty much my house.
Right.
And they want it right up close to the garage here. That way they can throw the shingles right off into the dumpster. This will be a nice, good spot for us to get exposure on the highway here. And we like those kind of dumpsters. And we have a very nice looking dumpster, brand new paint job, new branding on it. So it's gonna look nice. We get a lot of exposure driving up and down the highway here. Let's see how that does. I'm setting these dumpsters for roofs and stuff, just from experience, I know they want it close, but they'll be able to throw the shingles. But I always like to leave enough room for somebody to walk in between the dumpster, because like on a roof like this, the pitch isn't very much. They'll be able to walk right to the edge. They'll be able to throw the dumpsters, but it's always nice to be able to walk in between it. And there you have it. Another one delivered. 16 minutes to our pickup. We gotta go back through the construction zone though.
Oh, brother.
So probably more like 20 minutes.
I have a question for you. If someone orders a dumpster because they're replacing their roof, can that customer also throw a bunch of other stuff in that dumpster? Like this house we were at, it seems like maybe there's some old wooden doors, maybe some patio furniture, other stuff. Can they dump it in there, or does that need to be separated?
It's really going to depend on your dump, but for us, that will almost certainly be going to Winnebago County landfill or transfer station.
Yeah.
And there, everything gets mixed. Now, there are certain dumps in certain places where they want to recycle shingles, or other products, but where we go, that would be completely fine. And really, it's going to come down to whoever's doing the roof or whoever ordered the dumpster. If the roofer ordered the dumpster, the homeowner should ask. Like, I mean, I've had them ask me many times. Usually, I tell them yes, but as far as like a roof or whatever, odds are, you know, it's going to be overages, you know, for tonnage we'll charge. So if your customer wants to throw a whole bunch of blocks and crap in there that's going to be really heavy, whoever ordered the dumpster is going to have to pay for those overages. The other thing is you got to be really careful, because so whoever signed our rental agreement would know what is allowed and what is not allowed in the dumpster. And if the customer says, hey, can I throw a few things in there, and they happen to be all TVs or something that's not allowed in the dumpster, well, the homeowner might not necessarily know that because they didn't sign the rental agreement. So the whoever ordered the dumpster is kind of going to be responsible for that at the end of the day. So you got to be kind of careful and I guess educate the customer, whether you're the roofer or the dumpster guy. But I don't really care. I mean, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me.
Got it. So you mentioned that on YouTube you like watching farming videos.
I do.
And
yep.
We've gone past the decent-sized dairy farmer down the road from where you actually live. Have you asked him if you could just come and shadow him for a few days and pretend to be a dairy farmer?
Well, you remember how that thing smelled this morning?
Yeah.
I'd probably leave puke all over the No, I don't know what it is, but like maybe in a past life I was a farmer.
Maybe.
But I'm not so much into the dairy as much as I am like
the agriculture?
The combining and stuff like that. Like right now, like I don't watch it all the time, but now it's fall, and so a lot of guys are like harvesting and stuff like that. I love watching that equipment work, like, and how big and just crazy and cool those machines are, and I love watching that. And I don't know, it's relaxing to me just watching that kind of stuff, and it's always fun to see how they do it. And some of the farmers, especially some of them on YouTube, are freaking hilarious. They're just they know how to make videos that would kind of be boring be really funny. And that's one thing, like dumpster videos can kind of be that way too, where I consider myself kind of a funny guy, but it's hard to make a video that's kind of boring, I guess, exciting in that way, and just kind of be
until today.
Well, I mean, not every time, but I'm just saying that's where I struggle, like showing videos and making it entertaining at the same time, because a lot of what we're doing really isn't that entertaining.
Right.
But I can learn from some of these farming guys, because you can look at like a farming video and a dumpster video almost one and the same, right? So how do you make combining corn fun and cool, right? And a lot of that comes with like the personality and you know, the person who's doing the video, you know.
Well, we do know that earlier this morning, had we been able to video us petting the little goats down the road or going to the river and looking for the salmon, it would have gotten a lot more entertaining.
Oh, that's always entertaining. But that's the hard part about YouTube too, is because, like, especially making this type of content, it's not entertaining in general. Like, just naturally, it's not entertaining content. So to try to make it educational or entertaining or a little bit of both is fun. And like the educational side, I feel like I'm a lot better at, and those are the videos that I feel like I do the best at, is the educational side of it. But I need to just get better at making educational and entertaining videos. It's tough, it's hard, and when you think you're entertaining, a lot of times you're not. And really, it's the people on YouTube and the algorithm and stuff that tells you what's good. So I've had plenty of videos I'm like, oh, that's an awesome video, no views. And I've had other videos I was like, oh, that video is kind of stupid, and it gets a bunch of views. So I don't think anybody really truly knows. But the kind of videos that I chose to make, not really for clicks and likes so much, you know. I'm not going to go viral, I know that. Not with the videos I make. I got to go blow some stuff up or, you know, things like that. that's entertaining, but it's also, everybody likes watching different videos. Like I said, I don't particularly like those clickbaity, you know, like mainstream more videos. But I also appreciate like watching equipment and stuff, like some of the personalities and how they make those videos entertaining. There's an art. There's definitely an art to it.
I love a good kitchen organizer video.
Good.
You put all stuff in different compartments and canisters and...
Yeah. Sounds like my wife likes that.
Oh, nothing. I love something that fully exploits my OCD.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have OCD. I'm the opposite of OCD. I like a controlled mess. If it's clean, I won't know where anything is, because I put the mess right where I want it.
Right where I need it.
Yes. And we wait for asphalt. And fun fact, a lot of shingles get ground up and added into asphalt.
I didn't know that.
Yep. That's where they go. They grind them all up, they run a magnet through it, and the magnet pulls out all the nails. They'll scrap the nails and the metal and stuff like that. And the shingles because shingles are asphalt and fiberglass.
Right.
And shingles are a petroleum product, just like asphalt is.
Yep.
And so, from what I've heard, they will add roughly 10% of asphalt. Not every case, but in a lot of cases, 10% will be shingles or other asphalt. A lot of it is the old asphalt that they grind up and recirculate through. So 10% of it can be recycled, I think, somewhere along those lines. Like my first actual job, I was 12 years old. I worked at, I don't know if you remember the bait shop in Barton. It's called the Bait Box.
Yep.
It's when I was 12. I worked there. That was like my first job. I was 12 years old. I had a passion for fishing, so like I was into that. And but he gave me the key. 12 years old, I'd shut that place down at 12. God. I was there all by myself.
Was that one of the Ottens that ran it?
The guy's name was Jim and Tammy. I don't remember the last name, honestly. He's dead. He died. He was.
Did they also have the grocery store?
No. Nope. No, but they had another bait box that they opened out towards Port Washington off of 33. I don't remember. It wasn't in Port Washington. It was on the way.
Right.
But I don't even know if it's still there. Probably not, huh?
I don't think so.
But yeah, so I'd dip minnows and count night crawlers and check people out and all that kind of stuff. He paid me $2.50 an hour.
That was a lot of money then.
You want to talk about child labor laws? Yeah, he was breaking all of them under the table.
Yep.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was like I'd ride my bike there, and I don't remember how late it was open until, dark, I guess, summertime. But I'd sell fishing licenses, hunting license. I did all that. Ran the cash register and stuff. That was a pretty cool experience in my life.
Yeah.
And I did paper routes up there in Barton too. Mm-hmm. So the one was like the Penny Saver. I don't remember what it was called. No, not the Penny Saver. What was the one? It came like on the Wednesdays.
The Post.
Yeah, I did the regular one and the free one. So the one was...
Yeah, the shopper guide.
That one, yep.
I think that was the Post.
Was it?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Because there was the West Bend News and then there was the Post.
Yep, the West Bend News, that one I did. I think that was like twice a week. I don't think it was every day. I don't remember.
Then there was the Sunday Post. That was the one with all the ads in it.
That was the heavy one. That was the one that you guys like doing paper routes hated.
Yeah. Yeah, that one had
Some
all
things were like that big, weighed like 20 pounds. Yeah, I did those up there for a while. They were all local, so I'd do them all on my bike. Unless it was cold, my mom would drive me in the minivan. Mm-hmm. There was snow and whatnot. Yep, worked at the old bait box.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, yep. I'm the oldest of 4. So I have a sister who's, I'll be 38 in 10 days. I think 10 days, the 21st. But my next sister is 3 years younger than me, so she's 34. She'll be 35, I think, eventually. And then I have another sister that is like 31 and a brother who is like 29.
Hey, look, there's your dumpster.
There it is. A little overfilled, mattress on top. I've seen worse. Can always back up better when the window's down. I don't know what it is about that. There's a thing, there's something to it though. It's like a science.
It's kind of like you have to turn the radio down when you're trying to find something.
Yes, every single time.
I'm gonna find this better if I turn the radio down.
Yep, guaranteed. Take you guys along for the pickup. You don't want to miss out, do you? Back up a little bit here. Well, it's warming up. It's gonna be in the 70s today. And me and Wendy just got lunch. What do you rank your burger? It was a little messy.
It was a big, sloppy, messy burger, but I would still give it a 9 out of 10.
9? I would say a solid 8.
Yeah.
8 out of 10. Cheese curd burger. Only in Wisconsin.
Right.
I'll pay for it later.
Yeah.
But we got this one dumped, and we're back at the yard. We're gonna drop this one off here and go do another pickup. Make sure we check the door. Kind of looks like they got a new deck. Door's all shut. And it turned out to be a beautiful day considering it was 40 this morning. This one's got a little weight to it. We haven't had any heavy ones today, but this one's got a little more weight to it. You can tell it's pulling pretty slow. All right, well, we're at the dump with this load, and as you can see, so we're in there's only one scale and one line working here right now, which is kind of a bummer because for the past couple of weeks, we got to wait in line with everybody else, all the commercial trucks and just the homeowners and whatnot. But you can see right there, they are replacing the commercial scale, and they're redoing it. And it's been about a week and a half since they started, so it's been closed for a week and a half, and it sounds like it's going to be closed for another week and a half. And some of the lines have been pretty bad. When me and Wendy were here earlier, we probably waited 20 minutes, and that was not a bad wait. And today, now this time, was a lot better, but probably only maybe 10 or 15 minutes we'll have to wait. But there's been other days where we're waiting a half an hour every load to get through the scales here. Kind of sucks, but these are the kind of things that these scales got to get replaced at some point, and they're just doing the best that they can. But these are things that'll slow us down in business and cost us efficiency, money, fuel, hourly wages, sanity, all of those things. Here, film that sucker. Look at this hideous monstrosity. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, no. If that thing was $10,000 brand new, I wouldn't buy it. I'm sorry. Yuck. Yes. It's life of a freaking YouTuber. I was just talking to the camera that wasn't recording for like 15 minutes. But so we're just leaving the yard. We just dropped the 20 yard off and picked up a 15 yard. And we were talking about, you know, just being efficient, dumpsters and whatnot. And so I picked that 20 yard up, took it to the dump up by Oshkosh, and then brought it back to Fond du Lac to put it in the yard to grab a 15 yard for the drop off that's going to Oshkosh. And what this does is it's pretty inefficient, honestly. What I would normally do is probably drop the 20 yard in the place
Exit the traffic
of the 15
circle
yard,
onto West Pioneer
because
Road.
this ends up saving me like
In
an
1,000
hour
feet at the traffic
of,
circle, take the third
of
exit
time,
onto South Hickory Street.
based on the way that we're doing it. Problem is, we don't really have 20 yards in stock. We only have 2 in the yard, and those are the 2 that we brought back today. So that didn't really work out, because if you guys know how online booking works, there's like an oopsie factor built into it. So if we only have one 20 yard in stock, it won't allow people to online book a 20 yard for, let's say, today or tomorrow, right? If they're gonna book out like a week in advance, then it'll allow them to book one. But the reason that's built in is just so you don't oversell yourself and get yourself into a pickle, as we would say, a dill pickle.
I don't like pickles.
We were talking about pickles. She's allergic to pickles.
I'm not allergic to them, I just don't like them.
She's allergic.
I'm allergic to pickles.
Exit the traffic circle onto
So,
South Hickory Street.
This is
In a
inefficient.
quarter
That's
mile,
what we were talking
turn right
about.
onto
Like,
the I-41 North ramp to Green Bay.
what size is the best dumpster to start with? And that's where I would say for a lot of you guys is start with 20 yards. If that's going to be your largest size, start with 20 yards, and then you'll always have the right dumpster on your truck. And you can still paint the lines inside of them and do
Turn
a 10
right
yard,
onto
do
the
a 15
I-41
yard,
North
but
ramp,
just
then
drop a
merge onto
20.
I-41.
And go accordingly. But then you're gonna be more efficient because you have only one size of dumpster. So that way you'll never run into an issue like we just had. Every dumpster that you pick up, you can drop off, and every, you know, vice versa, because they're all gonna be interchangeable in sizes. And one thing that I would do, I would not want like 5 or 6 different sizes of dumpsters unless I had a massive business where I had certain trucks that handled certain sizes, and you could keep all that in rotation. But like when you're a smaller business and you don't have all that, it just makes us less efficient in some cases. Now, obviously, we try to book everything so that when it gets picked up, it does get dropped off, you know, for the most part. But that makes us a lot more efficient if we can do things like that. So keep that in mind, like when you're ordering dumpsters or thinking about what sizes of dumpsters you're looking into. I think 20 yards is probably the way to go.
So what he's saying is, here we go again north on I-41 for like the 3rd time today.
Yep. It's not glamorous, folks. Just staring out a windshield and turning left and right. Sometimes going backwards. I don't know, is it more glamorous than porta potties though? I don't know. I didn't have to wrangle any mattresses or anything like that today. I didn't have to put gloves on.
I've just been holding the camera, and you've been...
She's been a great camera lady. She's
hooking stuff up.
She's hired.
I mean, we saw goats. We didn't get to see the salmon. We saw the world's largest inflatable mummy in somebody's front yard. It was 2 stories tall.
We ran into 2 traffic jams this morning. Well, one this morning and one this afternoon.
Yep.
Somebody croaked on the highway just a little bit ago and stopped us.
We're hoping they're okay.
They're in our prayers. But yeah, we've been talking about all sorts of fun stuff, and really some of the cool things that Docket has done for the dumpster industry and for us YouTubers, giving us some, you know, support, myself and others included, and the way that they're showing up at all these events and sponsoring all these events and really helping the smaller, you know, part of the dumpster business grow, I guess, as a community and things like that, and just learning some of the ins and outs and things about Docket that I didn't know.
Yeah, so if you get a chance, check out the Docket, Service Corps Docket YouTube channel. Obviously, Service Corps and Docket also have social media pages. We like to share a lot of thought leadership, a lot of articles, video podcasts that we create with our own customers or other leaders in the industries. So be sure and check all of that out, because there's always a ton of information that's worth taking a peek at.
There's actually some really cool videos on the Docket YouTube channel that you guys should watch. I have watched them voluntarily, and I have a link in all my videos. There's a link to Docket's YouTube, because it's separate, right? It's not Service Corps, it's Docket. It's actually Docket on YouTube, and there's a link in the description in all my videos.
Yep.
You guys should check it out, and there's some demonstrations on there and stuff if you're interested in looking into Docket. And then obviously there's a link, if you use my affiliate link for Docket, if you're interested in checking it out. Totally free, and I recommend it. Wendy's here. She's pretty sweet. She's pretty cool. This is the third time I think we've met.
Yep.
And I mean, she just rode dang near. She's gonna be in the truck with me for 9 hours. Like, that's commitment right there.
That is commitment.
That's
my
freaking
friends.
Commitment right there.
Right.
None of you guys would spend 9 hours in a truck with me. You'd all jump out on the highway and tuck, duck, and roll. But that's pretty cool, and what Docket, like I said, what Docket's doing for the dumpster industry as a whole is pretty awesome. And obviously, they're trying to make money, but they don't need to support all of this stuff like they do. And so they do truly care, and I'm happy to be affiliated with them.
And we're happy to have you affiliated with us. It's a community.
Stoked.
Yeah, it's a community.
I love it. And one thing, like, for sponsors or things like that on the channel, I get lots of offers and stuff like that, but I don't take sponsorships from random places. Like, the only reason I even allow Docket to sponsor me is because I truly do believe in their product, and I like their product. I've used it for a long time. I trust it, believe it, and I know that it works. And if it didn't, I would not promote it.
Right.
I guarantee you,
Right.
I would not, because it's not worth my time or my reputation to shill some cryptocurrency scams or something else. We were talking about that earlier. Some of the crap that goes out on YouTube is just baffling. People selling their souls to the devil. So, I still got some questions.
On a post-it note, no less.
Well, yeah, pink. What's your favorite thing about Wisconsin?
Well, definitely the cheese curds. Also, the 4 seasons. I just wish that winter was not 6 months long and the other ones were longer. And the people. Don't really get them any better than in Wisconsin.
Nope, true. Completely true. And cheese curds, yes, I had a cheese curd. I had a cheeseburger with cheese curds on it for lunch. So yes, cheese curds, for sure. What is your favorite thing about working for Docket? Or Service Corps?
Right. My Service Corps is an amazing company that has a wonderful culture, reputation, core values. It's been an absolute blast the last 4 years working for them, helping to engage with our communities in the portable sanitation and solid waste industries. I just love the industries we serve, and being a part of a company that builds tools to help all of these people do their jobs better and more efficiently and give them time and life back is just a real gift, and I love it.
Well, and it helps, like, people that aren't so maybe just super business savvy just be better at business, because it simplifies things so much.
It takes a lot of the hard work out of it.
Right. And it makes us hillbillies that are out there trying to make a living look better.
I think the term is technically rednecks here in Wisconsin. I don't
Redneck?
think you can say hillbilly.
No, we
in
don't have enough
Wisconsin.
hills, do we?
No,
No.
you're gonna have to go with redneck.
Redneck, all right. That's it.
That's it.
That was
he
all
ran
my-
out of questions.
That was all my questions. I'll come up with some more. What do you got? Are you out too?
What is your favorite thing about Wisconsin?
Oh, I love I love the people. That's a great one. Obviously cheese curds, but that doesn't make my top 10 list. I love
The hunting, fishing.
I love the
living
hunting,
every-
fishing, nature, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, I know a lot of other states you can do that too, but here it's number one. It's basically it's so ingrained into the culture. That's what makes hunting and fishing and the outdoors different in Wisconsin compared to a lot of other states.
Right.
It's literally in Wisconsin's DNA.
Right.
I like winter. Crazy, maybe. Like you said, the 4 seasons. I like that. But I like winter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go somewhere where there wasn't winter. Yeah, winter can suck, but I do like winter. What else?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? Planning my retirement. So I think in 10 years I'll be retired, I hope.
Wow.
And so in 5 years I'll seriously start planning for that, so that when I'm ready, I'm ready.
That's a good goal to have.
I wanted to be retired by 50. Maybe I won't. I mean, I don't think I'll never retire. So I'm not gonna like kick back on the beach and retire like that. Right. But I could see myself, and this is something I've even talked with my wife about, is maybe selling this dumpster business and going and starting another one where I retire, which won't be very far from here. Like pretty close. But starting another dumpster business from scratch I think would be fun. Because I've never done it. But I know that I could. I know that I would be able to. And then I could just do that. I would get, oh, big old rock just hit my windshield. Son of a gun. Did you see that?
I did.
They're trying to break my windshield.
I did. It's probably because you don't have your seatbelt on.
Oh, son of a gun. Caught me. But I think that'd be fun. I'd get like 5 dumpsters and that'd be my job. And then I'd probably put suspenders on like an old papa and be a handyman or something. Yep.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I don't know why you need the suspenders,
But so in maybe, well, let's see, my youngest will be about to go to college in like 12 years. So maybe 12 years would be about the number. But that's all things considered. Everything goes pretty good from here till then. And I live that long also. Right? But that's what I would like. So yeah, if you guys are looking to buy a dumpster business in 12 years, hit me up.
And it already comes with the Docket software.
Yep. Docket will come with. Let's see, what else? Now we gotta do like that speed question round, you know? What's your favorite hobby?
Oh, my favorite hobby.
Yeah, like what do you like to do when you have the chance?
I like to travel, so I like seeing new places, meeting new people, seeing different parts of the country for sure. I think we have a country that offers a ton of opportunity to travel in. And I also love, I love being outdoors. I love going for hikes, kayaking.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we have so many rivers and lakes around here, so I like that.
But you guys already know my answer. I'm hunting. Hunting in the fall and getting ready for hunting the rest of the year, or fishing. And that's what I've been doing. I've already been hunting like 20 times, and it just started. That's why you guys probably haven't seen me very much lately. I've been playing hooky, putting in overtime today. You better tell the boss that you need overtime for today. Justin ran me all day. He said we'd be done at 2:30. Then it was 4.
It's now 3:30.
Yeah. He was going 62 on the highway all day. That's why he was
When the speed
freaking
limit's
late.
70.
Yeah. Drives like a freaking grandpa.
Oh, that's where the suspenders are going to come in.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
I get better fuel mileage this way. I'm saving myself 10 cents a day. 10 cents. The dumpster right there. See it? Did you see it?
Yes.
I tried to put it right there so everyone could see it from the highway,
Good
but
idea.
I can barely see it from the highway. God, it doesn't always work. It looked like it was full. I'd probably pick that up tomorrow. These dumpsters caught them in the wild in their natural habitat. Always out cutting beans. I'll be watching them on YouTube later.
Yes.
Seeing what they broke. Seeing how the harvest is, how many bushels they got.
See, you should have said in 5 years you want to be a harvester.
I'll probably volunteer. I'll like go to the local farmer and be like, hey, can I just drive that? You don't even have to pay me. I just want to do it.
Right.
I just want to play with it. He'll be like, yeah, that's like $1 million machine, buddy. Me and my wife said we wanted to, and by the time we're 50, and really the only reason I would be able to is because of my rental properties.
Right.
That's pretty much it, honestly. If it wasn't for that, that's probably like the best dumb decision I ever made in my life. Because with how much they've appreciated, and even if we kept them, I don't think we will, but even if we kept them, just once they're all paid off, the money that we could probably live off of.
Right.
That was the craziest, smartest decision I ever made. I've never been more scared in my life. That was all going on, but it worked.
So it pays to take risks.
Yes, definitely take risks. And it never feels right. It's always scary.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto South Oakwood Road.
Will do. Docket, notes. It's gonna be busy. Left side of driveway. $18.45.
At the light, turn right onto South
gonna
Oakwood
piss
Road.
some
Then your
people off
destination will
here.
be on the left.
We're gonna block this road and make somebody mad they're not getting home for an extra 2 minutes.
Your destination is on the left.
Is this it? I knew it.
Where does
Left
it say
side.
to put it?
That's it. This was an online order too. So this was another online order. And this is right in the hood. And actually right over here is where I grew up, in this subdivision, before I obviously moved out of the house and stuff. But my parents still live, like, as a crow flies, not very far.
So we're in the hood.
We're in the hood. This is my hood.
Oh, blocking all the traffic.
Yeah, yeah. Piss people off. That's the way it goes. It's the way the cookie crumbles when you're on your way home from work. Me and Wendy are still out in the streets giving her.
Still working hard.
Yeah. Got up at 1:30 today. I've been working ever since. I didn't notice until after I already set the dumpster that they have Tammy Baldwin and Kamala and Waltz signs in their front yard.
Oh, you could have put it in the dumpster right
I know. Eee. That's all right. Their money's green too.
Here's the dumpster for your yard signs.
Yeah. You're not gonna need them after November 5th. Trump
Just
coming for you.
Just put them in there now already.
Yeah. I shouldn't get political. I shouldn't, but they've definitely, Google ads are working. Google ads are working. You know how I know? I'm not sure that Republicans click on Google ads. I think it's just liberals.
Oh, that's probably a valid point.
Republicans are more the organic searchers, I think. There's probably some truth to this too. We're gonna have to run a poll. We're gonna have to run a YouTube poll. That is honestly probably from Google ads though, because we don't rank very well up here, like organically. So this is a heavy. These zip codes, I pound Google ads in here.
Train.
Oh my goodness, we can't catch a break today. You know how many trains go? There's two times a year a train goes across here. Literally twice. That's it. It might get screwed going that way too. Oh, all right. Well, there's the end. 2 trains a year. They don't even have lights or anything. This is one of those ones. So we were duck hunting the other day, and there's train tracks. Like, so we walk over the train tracks, and we park like right next to them, kind of like this.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 sets of tracks. So we're walking back, and a train comes, stops on the tracks. So we're like, we got all of our duck hunting gear. We got a dog, 3 of us, chairs, decoys, guns, all this. We sit there for like 30 minutes and this train doesn't move. And we're like, isn't it like really illegal to like hop the train? You know, like our truck is like, you can see it, it's right there.
Right.
So we're all like, I don't know, should we do it? Should we wait? And we're like, well, what if it sits here for another hour? You know? So finally we hop the train. And you ever get one of those like adrenaline rushes where you like feel like you're doing something really, really bad? Like you got that adrenaline rush. We're like carrying a 50-pound lab over the train tracks. So we get to the other side and the other train comes through like 2 minutes later and the other train takes off. But we were all laughing. It was pretty funny.
That is funny.
And them things are a lot taller, so you gotta go up a ladder. It's like 8 feet. It doesn't look that tall, but when you're standing there, it's like way taller and bigger than you think. Wow. We're like looking around, see if there's cameras, like, because I'm pretty sure I was like, this is probably like a federal like train hopping offense or something. But I was like, at least
security.
We have like a good, like our trucks are right there. We were hunting, and you guys were just kind of in our way. Sorry.
Yeah.
We had like a good excuse. We weren't gonna ride it to Mexico or anything. But yeah, that's my train hopping story.
It's an exciting one.
Yeah. It was exhilarating. Like I said, it felt like I was doing something like really bad. Oh, I got a fart. I've been holding it in all day. Now it won't come out. Well, so Wendy was a trooper, and I'm happy to have her more or less be a neighbor and a friend and colleague, I guess. But she was awesome to hang out with today. And if you guys have any questions for her or me, leave them down in the comments.
For sure.
And check out Docket. Like, I mean, I can't say it enough. It's an amazing company, and I'm really happy to be involved with it. And like I said, we've been using it for a long time, and it's really, really helped change our business, and it will help yours too. If you guys are looking for a free demo, there's a link in the description. Check out their Facebook and all their social media pages, and go check out some of the videos on the YouTube for Docket. I've watched them, and there's actually some really informative stuff on there, not just about Docket, but about just the dumpster business in general. So check that out. Any words of wisdom?
Nope. Thank you for letting me come and hang out all day long here on a beautiful day. And here comes this cute little kitten. Hi.
Yeah, he's the boss around here.
No, this was awesome. Thank you, and thanks for watching the video, everybody.
Yeah, hit the thumbs up, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one. Come here, Keeks. He's the boss. He's the boss. Yeah, he's the boss.
Hi.
He keeps everybody in check around here.
Hi, baby.
He's 11. Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's all them
Hi,
mouse brains.
baby.
Keeps him
That's
fit.
Lovely, lovely.
Yep. He just eats the heads off them. Crunch,
Nice.
crunch, crunch, crunch. You'll be hearing that. It sounds like a pickle.